I was gonna say, like, how could he not tell that I was a vampire this whole time? Because I think I still look kind of fucked up, right? Yeah, a little bit. That or I've smoked way too much weed.
So,
I'm not bothered.
I don't think I have anything else to read. Oh, there we go.
would it ease tensions with your father if he got an honest job? Because he tried, you know.
I can't say. I'd be glad if he dropped his thuggish activities, but I'm not sure it would be enough.
I love when my
Why is
dad
that?
drops his
Sometimes I
thuggish
swear
activities.
it's me, Dr. Reed. Or it's this life. It's like I can't find my place.
That is a real problem that happens. Sometimes things are just difficult in that way. So
Goodbye, young man.
you gotta make the best of things. You gotta find your own way a little bit, you know? I'm sorry, is that a bird cage? Do you guys have a bird?
You again?
Hey, about your life. Yeah, that's about right. Hey, about your son?
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
I mean, okay, you're starting to come out like a good dad about this.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side.
Is this just gonna be constant, where everybody's wife is just dead?
She gave the boy confidence.
Because that's 2 for 2 so far.
Job means you could be arrested. Are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
No, see, I'm wondering if you go to jail and he's left here on his own.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. People won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak, and there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
Man, like, that's gotta be a wild thing about back in the day. Like, when you could just say your kid's fucking weak. Because it could either mean that they have a weak constitution, like they're generally like a not physically capable person, or you could just be like an absolute dick. That guy seems like he's having a good time up there. We're gonna worry about that in a second.
How long have we known each other?
We're gonna interrupt this conversation first. Oh my god, that hair.
I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Dude, are you aware how square you are?
Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
You're another traitor. Cool. Nightman, have a good night. You too, Tucker. Have a good one there.
How is business around here?
Business? I have no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants.
You mean the guy that's standing right next to you, who's hearing this conversation as we speak?
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Well, I mean, if it's a bottomless pit, that would imply there's no bottom.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In a closed workshop.
If you're
nearby.
gonna shit
I
talk,
worked
do
there
it
as
in
an
front of them,
apprentice in
I
that
guess.
day. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
was there, because maybe I will go for it.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
I mean, we've met our fair share of people like that already. I mean, loot boxes used to be a thing.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Crafty foreigner. Alright, I'm gonna need... Sure, blame the migrants! She's an excellent nurse. She's just trying to help. See, here's the thing. I don't have any real knowledge of this. Like... It's like I don't have any real following knowledge on it. Like, I know she's a real person and we've interacted. But I don't really have like an end to her story. Like, I don't really know much about what she's doing. So I sure blame the migrants. Be aggressive. No, she's not the woman who thinks she's a vampire. She's like got like short hair. She's got like a whatever, like a smock apron.
So she's
I think.
trying to help her fellow immigrants.
I think.
Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
That's... Yeah, there she is, see? She's got like the smock apron. She's got the short hair. She's the person that we've been seeing the occasional picture of here. She is the pillar, so to speak. Like we haven't really met, so to speak, but we're aware of who she is. I think I was mixing her up with one of our other nurses that also have short hair. It's a town full of woolly bait. What can I say?
Right then.
Oh. That's a tiny handle, though. That won't do for me. Dude, these fucking rings only going for like 16 bucks is such trash. Hey, Daddy-o, where'd you go?
Good evening, Harry.
Is your dad
May
home?
I come in?
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
Dad? Yo, but for real, this is actually like a nice house. Like, it's kind of shit by modern standards. But this is like, you've got 2 floors. You've got a dedicated kitchen. Like, you've got a lot going on in a place like this for this time frame. Just make your dad stop being such a shit. Okay, so you were having like an attack earlier. We're gonna need to talk.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
Oh, okay, you're one of those guys.
Jonathan Reed.
I got it. I know who you are now.
Questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
All right. Yep.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled.
Wait till you
in
find
causes
out
and
I'm a
consequences,
vampire.
And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me.
Sorry,
What do I
Vampyr.
do? Blinded by science as I am.
Well, you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
Sure. I am listening.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be
I
aware
bonked
of
my
the
mic.
decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
Oh man, wait till you hear about
Beast is finally
Corona,
revealing itself, corrupting the
SARS,
flesh and the heart of men. With my
cancer.
own eyes, I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
All right, what's your plan?
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Fire! I didn't think he was gonna say fire for real. That's so good. Fucking, it's always fire. It's always fire. Every time. Every time.
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
Great. This is the 20th century. It's 2020. It's 2019. It's 2018. It's 2017. It's 2016. Like, pick your year of saying it's year. It's 1918.
Purification by fire has proved useful, but where do you stop? Burn the clothes? The buildings? The corpses? Worse?
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher.
I love that it's just like,
The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son.
I love it's just like, hey, I know I'm nuts, but I have to convince rational people to also be nuts. That's my job.
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Monkey brain. Hey, why isn't he being hurt by being near this cross? I feel like it has to have force put into it, right? Like, the other guy held it up and was, like, thinking to try to stop me. Like, I don't think that the proximity to a cross itself is the problem, so much as, like, the thought of it.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital?
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses.
I don't like
But I
the
especially
liberal
adore that
ideas
nurse
of
Crane
nurses.
So you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women
Oh my
allowed to take
God.
care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
What?
Why do you hate Nurse Crane?
Why?
more than other nurses?
Before coming to London,
Why are nuns
she
any
was a
different?
member of the communist resistance in our country.
Oh, of course, because
That's
communist.
what happens when you let a woman get involved in
How is this? How? How is this a, like? Because like we get this sort of argument today still, and I get that this is a game written in the quote unquote today, but like
No.
back then they definitely were all gotta watch out for them communists. women shouldn't be doing work that's not women's, and it's
I
like,
sent him to preach
remember
the good
when we
word
thought that was
God
gonna go
to
away,
corrupted city.
and then it didn't, and people just started getting like really political about it again?
Where did you send
It's just kind of like,
Sent
just
Samuel to the
fine.
Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
I do like the idea of a
sent him
priest
on
just
some
having a nun
preaching
fetish
crusade
specifically,
during
and
the
then being like,
epidemic.
yeah, that's why I got into it.
Samuel
I
didn't
went
know
into
it,
the church
while he walked
because
through
I'm
the valley
into
of the shadow
nuns
of
is
death.
very funny. But you can't sleep with them. Being close to them
I have
is
had
enough.
for tonight. Goodbye.
I did not anticipate that to just be open. Fully expected a lock.
Protection against malevolence and trickery.
Malevolence and trickery.
False faith, imprisoned by ordained evil.
Oh, hey, you're back.
You again? What do you want this time?
Nope. Hey, do you enjoy
How
what
did
you do?
become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks.
I mean, we know this part.
For their dirty work.
Survival is a natural law. Rules of nature.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons. And that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Instead of roughing up the poor, you should get some friends and rough up the rich. I mean, that's not inaccurate exactly. That'd be funny.
Goodbye, Mr.
Went the wrong way there for a second, got all...
Joe, please.
Joe, please. I understand it's the second time you've talked to me tonight, but I haven't made any more money. There's a plague going on.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I'd known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
What's Joe's story?
What can you tell me?
Why
about
is he
Mr.
beating people up
Peterson?
for cash when he could be instead beating people up for cash?
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
Okay, so it's depression. Like everybody here.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
That's a fair point.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against a wet boot boy.
I can't take it seriously.
What do you know of Harry Peterson? The boy seems so fragile. Not like his father at all.
Harry's a good boy, but he spends most of his time complaining. He's had it tough, all right, but he needs to grow a pair.
What troubles him exactly?
But despite being his father's son, almost everything, I think. He never wanted to come to Whitechapel in the first place. Hates this place more than most of us.
Well, okay.
Goodbye for now, Mr.
Man, where's that guy get off to every single time? So, man, everybody here's fucking sick in some capacity. Like, holy shit. Didn't I give that guy medicine to treat his fatigue? Is he just still fatigued? Or did I not remember to do that? I thought I gave him medicine. It's like those white supremacists who tried to kidnap the governor and called themselves the Wolverine. Wait. I never saw that. I never saw that they called themselves the Wolverine Watchmen. Nick's been telling me all about that shit. He drove by where they were trying to do that. Nick lives like right near them. Are you that guy that I rescued?
Good evening, sir. Do
Hey!
you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty.
That's scary. I mean, yeah, it is pretty fucked.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates. Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say a live tenant's a paying tenant.
Amazing.
It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
So, like, this guy's also just an asshole,
I
huh?
offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
In other words,
Eat him. Eat landlords.
Begging your pardon, I thought you was a man who could appreciate the complexity of the modern world. Things ain't just black and white, you know.
Yeah, but things are definitely not sleep with your tenants to let them continue living in your property, Gray.
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reed, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
I don't want such a dubious associate. I've no interest in money.
I've no interest in money. Perhaps one night I will visit you and take what I require. If that should happen, there will be no need for a middleman.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reed tonic could have really helped people, you know, save lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swamborous shit.
Yeah, but they should also not be doing that.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
Okay.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane. She's a nurse. What can you tell me about her?
Dorothy Crane, bless her soul. I really should thank her someday.
Tell me truthfully, why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive, She's making me a rich man. Every month they live, it's more coin in my pocket.
Just what a dick.
Has she treated
Like,
you?
I completely get being
I'd go to
a self-serving
or
asshole,
some
but
back-alley
Jesus
clinic full of
Christ.
sick foreigners.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever think about what happened to you?
Not much. It was a fucking nightmare. Savages, absolute bloody savages. Their appearance. Jesus. It made me want to puke.
You'd better not come back here. I won't be around next time to save you.
Okay, that's it for me.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
Goodbye, you absolute scumlord. Jesus Christ. Like, if ever there was one.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this...
Yeah, but what about Dorothy Cranyu?
Really?
To enter that house, I must discover who this man
Why did that
really
skip
is.
dialogue?
Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Spy! Would love to... Would love to spy more. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Knock, knock, knock. Okay, I get it.
Colossus. Perhaps I should look into it.
Get in closer?
It's locked, all right.
Of course. I was expecting perhaps a way to get over there? Also, just out of curiosity, he's only worth like $5.60. Guy's barely even worth eating. Oh, this is a weird downward slope. Oh. That was weird. I didn't expect him to knock on people's doors, man.
As long as you have the money.
Oh, it's her. Alright, well, I'll admit I'm a little bit at a loss as to how I'm supposed to investigate Darius Protescu's actions. Or Petrescu.
Perhaps I should look into it.
Because I can see the man. But I can't do the deed. What are you wishing for me, game? What are you wanting me to do here? Oh. Occult Oculus. Find someone who can read Braille. Retrieve Samuel the Disciple in the cemetery. Trinkets and more. Retrieve Bear Loose's box. Fair enough. Oh. His thing's already done. Oh. That's all his thing was. That's wild. Alright. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. There we go. Better go to Whitechapel if possible if I can find her there. Blah. 'Blah. 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 '
I will return later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think that's gonna summon him back, let's be honest.
It's locked.
But it doesn't open from this side. Genuine curiosity of how the fuck I'm supposed to get over there. Gonna be real.
Mr.
Evening.
I don't think you have anything else for me. No, you don't.
Goodbye, Mr.
This is Noid doesn't understand how thing works. And gets eternally confused trying to navigate the environment. Will the map tell me at all? Looks like if I go that way and around the back, maybe I could get in there.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Shut up! I'll probably end up eating you as well. Oh, fuck. No, that's what it is the back is the area that I was trying to get to before. Yeah. So it's like those are the two ways in.
Bed. It's locked, all right.
And this is locked from that side, and he's just sitting there tapping away at it. Can I go in through your house? Can I go in through your house? Can I go in through your house?
Colossus. Perhaps I should look into.
I mean, I see a notice over there. I can't interact here at all. I could apparently get that guy. I've got an upgraded mesmerize ability. I didn't know that I could... No, I have a mesmerize of 1. So he's stronger than me. Oh. Weird. What? What? This is a new ability that it didn't educate me on. That really just kind of happened out of nowhere, huh?
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Stray poet.
Is it Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
Is that a white leather? What?
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius.
Find Richard Nethercott or Clayton Darby. Okay. You've provided me with 2 options. I don't know who will be in which. Can I speak to both? These are the real questions. I'm sorry. Hello?
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town?
Man, can I get your glasses, like, for real, though? Like, I keep seeing these people with these sick glasses.
But perhaps you could help me, since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Awesome.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
Yeah, sure. It's a disgrace, it's criminal, it's only logical. It's kind of disgraceful.
It's a disgrace. People are left to die alone. No one is properly informed of the risks.
These are bad times indeed. So much for the glorious British Empire.
No! Tell people about it! I mean, that reasoning is the whole reason it's called the Spanish flu at all. Yeah. It's not us, it's them. The Spanish are getting us sick.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
Except by not telling anybody about the flu.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
Well, at least he's sort of honest.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible?
I don't
for
think
this,
that it
Doctor?
was people incensed by a fever who were coming after you. My rationalism has been recently shaking. It's not a simple epidemic.
I'm convinced there is more at work here than a simple epidemic.
Really? To be honest, I could say the same. Some of the sick I saw or heard of. My God, what happened to them?
Vampirism, honestly.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
Well, I care about public health.
I'm a doctor, Mr. Darby. I care about everything involving public health and this epidemic.
Are you sure you're not just concerned about the repercussions that a scandal involving a certain Nurse Crane from the Pembroke Hospital would bring?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
This guy is good. This guy is good.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time lurking around Whitechapel, talking to himself or declaring verses. These days, you can usually find him behind the church.
And he never goes out, you say?
He never goes out.
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
He may or may not, in fact, be a Vampiro.
Do you need assistance?
That would be nice of you, Doctor. Who knows what I may have caught during my investigation.
Treatment for fatigue. Fuck. Everybody's fatigued. Every single person. They're all so
Goodbye,
tired.
Mr. Darby. Farewell.
Like, I'm not saying that it's surprising. I'm just saying they're all so fucking tired. Whoop. I don't know why I came up here, I'm gonna be honest with you. I guess maybe I just anticipated something, but this appears to be a falsehood. Small flower bouquet with a voucher for free medical checkup hidden between the flowers. Camellia. Oh. The lady. Seriously, look at how sick everybody is. Darius Protescu's letter. Everyone except Elixir Woman. Yeah, that's something.
The content of Darius' letter to his children could give me more leverage to enter.
Alright, well, we don't have... Oh! She's mute, though. How can I communicate?
I'm Dr. Reed. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Yeah, that's about what I anticipated.
I know what you're thinking. A tall stranger who meets a girl.
No, we know who she is. She's mute.
It reeks of the penny dreadfuls. But I mean you no harm, truly.
No, she doesn't talk. I know you understand me.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? Melia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary.
I mean, she literally can't speak.
A stubborn and mute comrade. Nurse Crane and Darius Petrescu have been clever.
Like, what are we expecting? Honestly.
Very well. Goodbye then.
Alright, well. We'll go take a boo at the other boy.
It's locked.
Or not. We'll try and get around that. That's a vampire hunting boy over there. No, I wanted to... Can I get more? Nope. Yes. Nope. Yes. Fuck off. Okay. They all just have the same thing. And every time I lose the ability to just infinite shadow dash, I'm so upset. Oh. I apologize. Can't go in there. Fuck. God damn it. Is this guy just in the church? I guess that's the other question is, can I go in the church? The answer is no, so I'm going to assume the answer is no. Oh, Jesus. Oh, cool. Sick, I love it. Ow. Yeah, but what about the stick? How do you guys like the stick? Yeah? Nah, I'm good. Dude, the fucking stick is so good. Look at it. You don't even need damage because you can just stun lock them into infinity. Like, why do you need damage if you can just stop the enemy from ever moving? Like, sure, high damage is nice. But have you ever just kept knocking a guy over and saying, why aren't you getting up? Get up. Why aren't you getting up?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant regarding this part of town, my words speak about that which the eyes cannot see.
Really? Are you an artist of some kind?
I'm a poet, sir. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Lovely.
May I ask what you're doing at this?
After this guy, I'm gonna stop for
Do you
tonight.
live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always preferable, if you ask me. Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak...
What are the odds that these two fairly liberal people are just hanging out by a church? Not that this guy is the smartest of men.
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
My family despises me.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you for a start, my dear Doctor.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
I kind of get where this guy's going, actually.
Yes. The enjoyable silence of the grave. You have a unique perspective on the situation, I must admit.
Most people fail to understand my perspective. I don't blame them. But how could I call myself a poet if I veiled my feelings?
Tell me, Mr. Nethercott, why seek inspiration in Whitechapel?
The place is not beautiful per se, but how to explain it? Stirring and challenging.
Do you not think it a little morbid?
On the contrary, sir. Whitechapel is full of life, full of beauty. Just like my dear muse, the wonderful Camellia.
What can you tell me about Camellia?
Not much.
Okay, now it's starting to come into picture why he's like kind of weird like this.
She's a locked mystery who exhales kindness.
I think you might be fetishizing the muteness a little bit, my guy.
Perhaps you're just afraid to find out the truth about your muse.
One day, perhaps, I'll ask her to come with me. But will she still be my wild flower of Whitechapel if she moves uptown?
Yeah, I think you might be
Have you ever
fetishizing
tried
this
to learn
person.
more about her? Where she lives, how she survives, whom she may know.
Maybe I prefer she remains an enigma. Reality can be so dull, don't you think?
Not sure about that one.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Yeah, I think this guy's fetishizing a little bit.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious Camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
Alright. Tell me about Dorothy.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Alright, what about Darius? Or
What can you tell me
Darius?
about an old man called Darius?
Darius?
Darius? No.
Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
That seems a bit mean.
I'll leave you alone, sir. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite.
And we have plenty of experience as well. Alright, well... we open this? Hey, there we go. Door has been unlocked. Fantastic. Where was our safe house again? It's like a bit of a distance. I think what we'll do is we'll go take a rest and save.
I cannot.
Fuck. God damn it. Every time. Every time. Just consistently. I don't know who you are, but I don't really care. I can't teleport up there. That's a new one. Hey! Door is unlocked. Goes not in the direction I want, though. I can't believe this game has, like, Metroidvania elements.
Most of them don't speak English.
Oh, that's okay. Alright. Down this side street. That's that guy. Where's my thing? Ah. Man, like the twisty-turny nature of all these streets. They're getting me, man. Teleport. Teleport. Go in. There we go. Okay. Well, we're in. That counts as a save. So we're just going to stop for today. It's been a good, like, 5 hours. Unceremonious ending, but hey, I mean, sometimes that's the way it goes, you know?